Who struggles more, the single men or the married men? Sometimes married men struggle more. See, if you're a Christian, you know you're not going to be sexually active anyway. If you're a single Christian, you shouldn't be sexually active. If you're not inflaming yourself, you're cool. But a married man who's expecting to get it and has a wife that turns cold on him, boy, that could be a struggle, huh? All these married men are going, When is lust lust? When is looking sin? Jesus said if a woman or if a man lusts a woman in his heart, he's already committed adultery. The word lust is blepo in the Greek. It means to stare with an intense longing and desire. And when you begin to stare to the place where your heart is so enticed that you think about how you can have her, you're in sin. Just because you ain't crafty enough to catch her, God's still going to charge you for the sin. Because it was in the heart. And so don't allow yourself to go there. James 1 says that when a man is tempted, let him not say that God is tempting me. For every man is tempted when he is drawn away and enticed by his own desires. And then when sin is conceived, it gives birth to death. And so you cannot, listen, you cannot tempt me with a plate of liver and onions. That does nothing for me. But you put a big ribeye steak with sauteed mushrooms on there, medium well with some corn on the cob, a little bit of beans on the side, and garlic bread. Oh, shoot. So what entices you? Stay away. Stay away from it. Every man's battle. Did you read that? Huh? Did you read the first chapter? Isn't that a funny chapter? Tells how he's driving down the street one day, married man, Christian leader, driving down the street, sees a beautiful girl on the sidewalk, and he's driving, he runs right in the car in front of him. And his wife said, "How did you do that?" Every man's battle. Why do they say every man's battle? Because every man is dealing with it. We're all struggling. Odds are right now there's a number of you that are messing around with pornography. Stop. It's a pastor. It's a brother. Stop. Get help. It's an addiction. You can't even talk to a woman face to face without going through craziness in your mind. It's going to ruin your marriage if you're married. It's going to ruin your marriage to be once you get married. Deal with it now. I promise you, it'll save you years of heartache. How did you start in pornography anyway? I like to spend a little bit of time on this because this is so important. How did you start on pornography? Did a buddy show it to you? Did you stumble on your dad's stash? The guys at school bring it up? See, we all started somewhere. I go as far as to say that every man that's not saved dabbles at least to some degree in pornography. Because what's to stop him? But as believers, we have no part of that. I remember when I got saved. I got saved Monday night, November 17th, 1980. Tuesday night, I started a job at a gas station in Hayward. I was playing golf in the daytime, so I'd work in the gas station at night and make some money. And this particular gas station had very little business. In 8 hours, we might get 6 or 7 cars throughout that shift. But when I got in there, they dealt drugs out of that gas station, and there was a stack of pornographic magazines in the back. I just got saved last night. Like you, every time I walked into a store, I picked up a magazine and thumbed through it. Who cares? But now I'm saved. My first night on the job, I see the stack of magazines. I go, whoa. Nobody here, 8 hours, 4 or 5 customers. Boring. And I said, I'm not picking up one of those. I worked in that place for 3 months, 8 hours a night, 5 days a week. Never picked up a magazine. Broke the addiction. Broke the addiction. You've got to make a choice. Why? Because I was a man of God now. I'm through with that life. That life's over. I'm a Christian. I just got saved. I'm in love with Jesus. I'm not doing that anymore. And it broke an addiction in me. But you got to make a start. You got to say, when am I going to do this? You see, Jesus came to save sinners. Here's the steps out. I'm going to give you 5 steps and we're going to go to the next thing. Are you ready? 5 steps out of your addiction. And we'll take a 5-minute break. Are you doing okay? I know it's a lot of information. Are you holding on? 5 steps out. Number 1 is you must acknowledge you have a problem. You must acknowledge it. Number 2, you must desire to quit. Number 1, you must acknowledge it. Number 2, you must desire to quit. Number 3, you must realize you have the Holy Spirit. You have the Holy Spirit. Number 4, you must be accountable to another guy or group of guys. You need to be accountable. You need to tell somebody, you know what, I'm quitting pornography, I'm quitting drugs, I'm quitting alcohol, I'm quitting gambling, I'm quitting whatever, and I need you to keep me accountable. And the fifth point is that you're going to be in for a battle for your life. If you're trying to give up something, you might go through withdrawal syndromes. You might have just a tough time trying to get out of this. Persevere. This is the 5th point. Persevere in the battle. Soldier, don't you quit on me. You're a soldier. You belong to God. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's not the will of God. 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 3. This is the will of God for you, even your sanctification, that you abstain from sexual immorality. This is the will of God for you, that you abstain from sexual immorality. There's all kinds of scriptures to go with that. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 10. Galatians 5:19 and following. Ephesians 5:1, which says, don't let sexual sin be named once among you. So on and so on.